All right, so we're going to take a look at a wretched creature here, New World Order shill from hell called Markiplier, and his boyfriend here, Jack, septic guy, however you want to call him. And How to Pole Dance 3. Yes, I guess there's a series. Now, I came across this video just before when I was doing my Suspended Childhood series on Supreme Lord Commander. And this is what your most popular YouTubers. I mean, you got to understand something. You know, in the old days where Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie was your big-time celebrity, well, now it's Markiplier, it's Jacksepticeye, Puke Die Pie. It's all these characters. These are the big celebrities that are being used to program the youth into degeneracy. They just want you to stop, never have babies, never have families, never grow up. And they want you to be obsessed with your sexuality. They want you to be confused. They want you, basically mimicking the top YouTubers who are all shills, all working for multi-channel networks, all working for the big corporations like Disney, like Viacom. And they're all part of the Rainbow Unicorn eugenics, just programming people into terrible lifestyles, normalizing homosexuality, normalizing the rainbow of genders and sexual orientations, anything but having a family, anything but heterosexuality. And this is what they do. So let's take a look at this. Let's remind the YouTube community that this is 100% nonprofit. It is for educational purposes. It's the antithesis of what Susan Wojcicki and co. and what you people do on YouTube. I'm actually trying to save the youth from this while you people are trying to program them into it. So you cannot even begin to entertain a copyright strike. Let's listen in here for a second.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to the video that you've all been waiting for so long. I'd like to introduce my special guest for today, Mr. Jacksepticeye.
Thank you everybody, thank you. Welcome to my legs.
Okay, first, interesting that they're both wearing these cloak shirts, as above, so below. The black and white symbolism, of course. These people have long ago made the deal. They're all on board, and they're going to be taught how to pole dance. Now, this is reversing the roles. No man should ever do a pole dance. I mean, if you think about a man and that package that you have between your legs, it doesn't go well with a pole at all. And even women shouldn't be doing pole dancing. I mean, because it is what they put in strip clubs, right? The whole pole dancing emanates from strip clubs. And, I could get into all of that and the symbolism and everything else. At least it's more hetero when it comes to women. At least you're dancing with a pole. But the whole thing that they're trying to program women into is lesbianism and not having men and using sex toys and just really just destroying any concept or any ability to create a family, programming people into narcissism, into, just worship of the self. You'll see this everywhere. And sexual degeneracy, of course, goes without saying. So who should be learning pole dancing? Well, maybe strippers, right? But everybody else, that's fucked up. And for guys to be learning that is really horrible. These are horrible people, though. Let's not kid ourselves. These are not good people. These are terrible people, and they're playing roles. Now, how much of it is just them making money as opposed to them consciously understanding that they're manipulating their audiences and that they are partaking in this sort of attack on human fertility? That's up for debate. I'm not here to debate that. I'm just here to show you the slime and how it's done. So
Prove me different, right?
Yeah. Well, we're geniuses.
I live for the pole.
We watch Rick and Morty.
So he lives for the pole. Now, if you don't know these characters, these are the most popular YouTubers in the world. Like, as I mentioned before, whether if you think of Brad Pitt, you think of like the more the Hollywood star, right? That kids might grow up, little girls have posters in their room. Well, these are the new ones. And they're on YouTube and they're uploading every single day. They're programming the people into the Rainbow Unicorn. it's interesting that neither have their hair colored, because Jacksepticeye is always green and Markiplier is always red. And then there's Quebblecrap that is orange, and there's all these different characters that all interact with each other, and they all have the colors of the rainbow, is what I'm trying to see. As you see with Markiplier here, Markiplier, I don't know if he's got Jacksepticeye here. Maybe we'll just see if we can find Jack. If I put Jack, J-A, it comes up right away. And I'll just show you the green, the one eye symbolism, of course. And as you see, the green and the red. Now, one of the things that they push all the time is that these two are having some sort of affair. And there's fan fiction. Now, brace yourself. Just be prepared. Who is responsible? You know who is responsible. I don't need to fucking tell you. If you don't know who's responsible, don't be shy. Ask in the questions below. A lot of my listeners will come in and help you out and tell you exactly who's responsible. You're not allowed to talk about the people that are in charge. That's why the most censored channel in YouTube history, because they take down all my work, because they don't want you to know how they're socially conditioning and programming humanity into degeneracy and into all kinds of horrible things that will just ultimately lead to no families. Basically, they just want you out of the gene pool. They want you to die. Basically, I'm not saying necessarily Jack and Marky want that for their listeners. They're just useful idiots, more likely. But you can see some of the typical type of content. These people play all the mind control games. One of the things I showed years back on Supreme Lord Commander was the Notice Me Senpai, which is so disturbing. In fact, it's so disturbing, I should put that in for a second. Just Yandere Simulator. The Yandere Simulator here. Yandere Simulator. Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, as they come up. And I've shown this. You can still see these videos, believe it or not. These videos are still up on ScrewTube, miraculously. In which I show that these super popular YouTubers are playing this Japanese sort of simulation. If you want to know where Japan is in the New World Order, it's got the lowest, it's got a negative in population growth. They're closing down all these cultural festivals. They have the lowest, they're losing population. They're losing 1 million people a year in Japan because nobody's having babies. 40% of men would rather fuck a doll and never touch a woman in their life. 40% of men who are eligible within the ages of marriage sort of thing and being fathers and stuff like that. They have programmed people through their hideous, toxic porn, the hentai, the tentacle porn and all that shit. That just it's just a horrible thing for people to indulge themselves in. Of course, most people have no idea. So the Yandere simulators featuring all the top YouTubers, where there's PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, they all do it. So, I'll just put in Yandere and I'll put Marky, right? Markiplier. All these videos will come up with Markiplier playing these things. They even make cartoons with Markiplier. I've shown this before. The Yandere simulator, basically you're playing a little Japanese schoolgirl where you have an older man or an older woman or an older transgender or something that you're obsessed with, sexually obsessed with, and you're a little Japanese schoolgirl. And you want that senpai to notice you. So you do all these crazy things to try and get their attention. Well, it never works in the end, and what always happens is that the little Japanese schoolgirl goes psycho and murders everyone. And then takes the corpse of the senpai around and as a weekend at Bernie's, where it's like a dead, rotting corpse. And this is one of the most popular games that all these YouTubers play. And I've gone through this and I've shown this to people, all the New World Order symbolism, the coloring, the sociopathic, psychopathic sort of mindset. These games are fucking horrible. They are terrible. They're an attack on humanity, and this is what YouTube and Susan Wojcicki put on trending on a daily basis. So no surprise here that you have this kind of shit going on. You've got a girl here that, I don't know, I guess is dressed for something, has, 6-inch platform, sort of high heels, and has this thing saying, love, cock, falls. Interesting. Cock falls. This is the most like, just in case you don't know this, these are the most popular people in YouTube. YouTube is the second most popular website in the world, in case you're confused. Number 1 is Google. Number 2 is YouTube. They're both part of Alphabet Incorporated, and they're both run by a particular tribe. And these are the most popular people that they have. Now, let's just show you some of that fan fiction that is all over. Now, this is just them playing their roles. But look at this shit. I'm not going to look. I have to look away because it's so disgusting. But this is what they do on a regular basis. Septic plier. There's all these. Now, fans demand that Elsa has a lesbian partner. Disney, one of the most powerful corporations in the world with thousands of subsidiaries, whether it be magazines or television shows or publications or sports, ESPN, things like that. They create whatever they want to create. So the world that you're in is their world. If you partake in Disney products, if you allow your children to consume and watch Disney shows and stuff like that, you're partaking in their destruction. Because they want to depopulate this fucking planet and they want people to stop breeding. That's ultimately the most important thing that you can take out of all of this shit. And this is why they push homoeroticism, homosexuality, lesbianism everywhere. And all the top YouTubers do this. All of them. All right. And it's very important for people to understand this. These people are all working together. They're all part of the same networks, the massive corporations. Disney being one of the ones that I can name right off the bat that is part of this social conditioning. It's really awful what's going on. And look, I have to reiterate to people, I'm not against homosexuality. Homosexuality has always been an extreme fringe thing in civilization. You know, where families and a man and a woman come together to form marriage and raise a family. That's normal. That's what keeps the species going. Everything else is abnormal. Sexual reproduction is normal. The birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees. Everything else is abnormal. So you should not be promoting abnormal at all. And you should not be programming children into this. Well, what if your most popular YouTubers, like the two of the most popular YouTubers in the world, and this is what they do on a daily basis? They are promoting depopulation, basically. This is the way to look at it. The way to understand is to normalize homosexuality, like in the Jaffe memo from 1967 from Planned Parenthood, where they said they were going to promote homosexuality and they were going to condition people into homosexuality, get children indoctrinated into homosexual lifestyles. That's what it's all about. So this is a really disgusting sort of psyop that these characters are involved. And again, like to reiterate, no man should be doing women things. Like, yeah, I mean, maybe on Halloween it's fairly innocent. Maybe it used to be. I don't even know. I would say no. But I don't think you should ever dress as a woman if you're a man, and vice versa, unless it's a gag or something like that. But this is what these people do on a daily basis. So Butt Feed 101, where you're going to take men and have them do women things. And this is what they do, always.
Wow. Thanks. Why would you smell that? You was in between your pants. Why would you smell that? Okay, so I'm doing this. Oh God, this is not enough grip.
You are good to go.
Okay, so I'm just going.
Yes. Good.
Oh God.
Oh wow, you're almost there. You're gonna take one leg and back of the phone.
Only he would fall on his head. It's awful. It is an awful thing that these people are partaking in. This is just one video. I could show you a million. I showed a video back in 2015 in which PewDiePie and there was four of these guys: PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. Yeah, in fact, why don't I just show you that? let's put, I don't know, Markiplier, PewDiePie, a Jacksepticeye. You'll see how these characters always appear together over and over again. Remember I said about the coloring and stuff? And here they are again. You notice how they each have a color, right? The rainbow. There they are, freezing my bells. There's a character called Emma Blackery who's part of their network. These are the most popular YouTubers in the world. This is the one I was talking about, where the four of them are here in a hotel room, and they talk like they're doing electric shock game, which all stems from the Hunger Games. You know, the programming into what we call Battle Royale, all the games that are out there. The Running Man is another great example, how they've been programming people into this, where people are giving themselves, where they're playing games where they get electric shocks. And at one point, PewDiePie actually takes one of these things and puts it up his ass. Like, no fucking joke. In front of them, pulls down his pants and does this. This is a video that's gotten 5.5 million nearly views. 70 million subscribers. This is the most popular YouTuber in the world. This guy here, Felix.
Is that the mic we're using?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Shut up.
This is a professional.
This is a PewDiePie video. It's
I'm
why.
sorry. Are you the most subscribed channel on member? Is that
You're at a YouTube conference.
You could have bought a shotgun for like $60.
You keep
put it
throwing
on
me
there.
these dead serious death
Can you be nice for 1 second?
No.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Hey, how's it going? My name is PewDiePie. I'm Markiplier.
I'm just. Tumble over to the eyes! Is that good?
No.
And I'm also Markiplier.
Okay.
We're not here on this bed just to fuck.
That comes
That
later.
comes later.
We're not here on this bed just to fuck.
That comes later.
That comes later.
We're not here on this bed just to fuck.
And he's making the 666 symbol while he's saying that. And we'll just skip ahead to the end here, where you're going to have PewDiePie, and he pulls down his pants and sticks this thing basically up his butt. Here. And they're all sitting around watching as he does this. Now think about it. 4 grown men with different colored hair on a bed. This is homoeroticism. Look at the shockers themselves. It's like this. It's very much like a dildo or a butt plug or something that people would buy as a sex toy.
Oh.
You have to press that button.
I don't want to press the button.
Press the button.
Do it. Oh.
What's happening?
Wait, if I taste my...
Do it now.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, so I showed this years back. I mean, this is from 2016. This is what these people do on a daily basis. This is your most popular YouTubers in the world. All part of this New World Order programming people into homosexuality in a huge, huge way. These people are playing roles, and they are doing what they're told to do, or they're, what they're getting paid to do, and they're normalizing this attack on the family, basically, and pushing narcissism, pushing homosexuality, pushing degeneracy, pushing all the things that would really hurt a young person growing up, especially a young male that might already be confused because of all the chemicals in his system. It is really wretched what is going on. YouTube is a hideous, horrible New World Order mind control platform. It is the worst of the worst. It is shocking for me, like literally shocking to see how this is getting worse and worse on a daily basis. And I have to warn people, protect your children. Never let them watch anything without your constant sort of watchful eye. You should not allow your kids to watch television or play video games or anything without your supervision. And you should never allow them to follow or become followers of these types of characters, because these characters are bad. And these guys know who I am, by the way, too. PewDiePie's featured me in a couple of his videos. So they know exactly the type of content that I'm putting out, and that I'm coming after them, and I'm showing kids what they're doing. So it's very important for people to understand how this works and how they're programming people. So anyways, thanks so much for listening. Leave your thoughts below. Of course, if you can, come and support me. My Patreon link's in the description. Every little bit really helps. Huge thanks to all my patrons, everyone that supports this show. If you can't financially support it, maybe you can help by sharing the videos, pushing them out, sharing them on social media, and maybe hopefully a few more eyes get it. Just remember, folks, protect your children, homeschool your kids, watch everything. I mean, whatever they're eating, whatever their entertainment is, make sure you're well aware of it, and that it has your approval, sort of thing. You are the parent. You're supposed to be the parent. Do not allow the state, do not allow YouTube and other hideous mind control platforms to raise your kids. Protect your kids from the New World Order the best that you can. Thanks so much for listening. Leave your thoughts below and have a wonderful day.